back on day 5. Isn't this exciting? So I can't wait to hear. How has it been? What does this future persona of yours look like? Could you kind of live into it? Could you feel what it feels like? Could you hear what they were saying? Could you hear what you would like in your future? Could you hear and see yourself as this person that you want to be? And could you kind of feel into that? Well, this is big part of creating that new future. Now remember, this is just touching on the big stuff that hasn't been said before. So or said in this manner, right? So today we're going to look at one more that is really going to bring it all home. So for those of you who's big into the manifesting world that hasn't really been manifesting the things that you wanted, is this helpful so far? Reply, hit that reply button and say, like, has this been helpful? Do you kind of get more aha moments while you're doing this, right? So now let's get down to today. Today is all about the creative now. Okay, so now we are creating the now of that future, but in today. Because often what happens is we see it in the future, therefore we leave that future, we don't bring it into the right now. We have to bring it into the right now. So, how does that look? Well, there's 3 steps to this. The first one is weeding. Do you remember we said we're going to weed our garden? And that literally comes in every time we have that feeling or that negative thought or that inner self-talk that is not beneficial to this future that we want, is to stop it in its tracks. I like to play a game and just go, I got you. And I get all excited and I actually start celebrating the moment instead of going, I'm doing that again. I can't believe that my mind would do that. You feel the difference? Can you feel the shift in energy? Right. So, what we want to do is we really want to take a moment, breathe it in, and just say to ourselves, it's just an old pattern. It's just what it is. And I'm so glad I caught it because I can do something about it, right? So, you celebrate the moment, got you, okay? And by pulling it out, what we're going to do is we're just going to replace it with something that we want. Instead of allowing that old pattern to carry on and just go into nowhere, into old patterns giving us our current reality, what we want to do is we want to change that up for something better. Remember on day 1, we wrote about all the things that we actually wanted. So now we're going to change it up with that. We're going to take every single one of those things that you wrote down on day 1 and day 2 and all the things that you didn't want and replace it by the thing that we want. So it could look like this. I'm driving, because generally that's when stuff comes up, right? Or while you're cooking or doing something weird, like everyday stuff. You're driving along, and the next thing, somebody cuts you off, and you're in a rush. So instantly you get mad at this person, right? How can this person? Where does your mind go? That it becomes playing this detective. Where did my mind just go? Oh, I'm thinking this about that person and this and that and I'm doing all of this instead of going, whoa, there's a weed. Hold on a second. Let's cut this weed off, or let's pull it out by the roots. So we say, it could mean something else. Perhaps he's late. Perhaps he didn't see me. Perhaps he's also got a big presentation. Perhaps somebody's in hospital, and you start adding this stuff in it. And then what you want to do is you want to replace it with, how does the future me think about that guy? Does she get upset? Does she totally throw her toys out the cot? Is she going, well, it could actually just mean something else that I'm not seeing right now? Is it more pleasing or giving? Or let's do something different and say, I want to get something and I suddenly realize I don't have the cash for it. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, I caught it. I realized I don't have the cash for it. So nobody's saying that's not true. We just realized it is how we think, right? So we say, well, that's just a thought. I caught it. Yay, I caught it. Okay, how do I want to think? Wouldn't it be fun? I like that word. Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun if I could walk into a shop right now and get it? Wouldn't it be fun if? Wouldn't it be fun if that? And so I carry on. And then I start working towards the thing that I actually want to bring into my life. So I just replace a negative with a positive. Weeding. That's what I call weeding. Now, every day you have to take action of 3 things that you want. So you look at your disc of the 8 life cycles and you say, for health, I need to do these 3 things. It doesn't have to be very big. Sometimes it's just a mind shift. Sometimes it's just, I need to call and find out more about a gym membership. Or I've really been thinking about a dance class. I wonder what it's like and maybe research it. But it's one action towards that step where you want to go. So you have to try and do at least 3 actions in a day, which really can take minutes. Okay. Or it could be, hey, I'm actually going to gym today. I'm putting on my shoes. When I get out of my bed, my shoes are going to be ready. I'm just put it on. So when they're on, then I'm going to go. Instead of going, just 5 more minutes in bed. You see, again, there's the weed. 5 more minutes. Okay. Well, how do I want, what does a future me look like? She jumps out of bed, she puts on her shoes, she goes for a run, or she walks around the block, or she takes the dogs for a quick walk, whatever it is. At the end of the day, here comes the nice part, is I want you to journal and write what 3 things happened today, more than 3, you can write hundreds. What things happened today that is proof that my evidence is actually, yeah, things are moving towards the thing I want. In other words, I ate really well today, meaning you're on your path to health and wellness. Great. Okay. You know what? I caught myself so many times with a negative thought. I was weeding today, and that means that I'm closer to where I want to be in my future life. Or perhaps it looks like, well, one of the actions is somebody was really kind to me today, and it made me feel really good about myself, which reminds me this is how I want to feel in my future all the time. Do you see? So, what it does is you go and look for evidence in your day that things are moving closer to what you want. In other words, it could be a feeling, something that happened, things you saw, a thought pattern that you had, a thinking pattern, or sometimes somebody says something, or sometimes you even watch a movie, somebody says something and you just realize, like, oh, that is the thing I've been looking for. I mean, the answers are everywhere around us. So these are your actions: weed, find it, replace it. Every single day, every single moment, and don't give up. It becomes a continuous job for the rest of your life. If you want it, do it. It doesn't matter how hard it is or how difficult it is, it does become easier. That much I can promise you. Just the beginning might feel a bit overwhelming because you've been doing it that long, right? And celebrate it when you find it. Don't be harsh on yourself, because it is a moment to celebrate because you see it, which is fantastic. The next one is take 3 action steps in your day towards what you want and towards every single area of your life, even if it means phone your mom because you haven't spoken to her for a while, or it just means being kind to people at work today. They can be small action steps, but it's a step towards the future that you want. So you have to bring that in your life. And at the end of the day, gather your evidence. So you write down. My boss and I had a fantastic discussion today. It felt so good. I felt heard. Um, you know what? Somebody at work gave me put a flower on my desk, and I don't know who it is, but it was an incredible moment. I felt really loved. Okay, whatever it is, you're going to look for evidence in your day that supports you in knowing that you're on the right track. You're going to find it, because that evidence, the more you build it, it grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more you see. So that's where we want to go. So tomorrow we put it all together. Remember, phenomenal living, yes, that's for you.